How's it going, guys? So I was recently just looking around YouTube and I stumbled across this video of Fire Emblem Awakening running on emulation on the PC, and it got me thinking, wow, this game actually looks pretty decent, so I should check out some of the other Nintendo games. I've always said that Nintendo games use this art direction where it ages really well, and it always looks good no matter how much time passes, at least with most Nintendo games. Games like Fire Emblem, obviously it doesn't look as good as a game that uses more of an artistic, colorful, cartoony art direction, as it went more with a realistic approach, but honestly, I might be playing another game in the series right now that's upcoming, and Fire Emblem Awakening up-res to HD doesn't really look too far off from another game in the series. So I decided, hell, I'm gonna check out some of these other emulation videos. Now, this Fire Emblem one that you're seeing right now is the only one I've actually seen completely. I looked at the other ones a little bit, but instead of actually looking at them and reacting, I decided I'll wait to react, and I will download them and then talk about them with you guys. Now, as you can see with this Fire Emblem one, it looks really good in my opinion. Like, yes, it uses more of a realistic art style, but it still has a bit of a charm to it. I would love if Nintendo decided to bring the 3DS Fire Emblem games to the Switch in HD, because obviously they don't look that bad up-res. The 3DS was really good at hiding blurry or bland textures due to the resolution, but as you can see, this game up-resed doesn't look half bad. I would love to play this game on Switch, and I hope Nintendo brings it to Switch one day. The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time is one of my favorite games of all time, so seeing it in HD, yes, you can tell the textures are kind of bland, they're not very detailed, but honestly, this is all I want. Nintendo, you don't have to remake it, you don't have to change any of the graphics or anything. The 3DS version was a pretty big step up, and just up-resing that to HD, I still think it looks fine. I loved the updated character models in this one, and seeing them in HD looks pretty awesome. Now, originally this was a 4K video, but when I downloaded it in 1080p 60 frames a second, so I'll be sure to link the people who uploaded these videos. Their links will be in the description below. Now, do I condone emulation? Not really. I don't really do it myself, but people are doing it regardless, so either way, I'm gonna look at it and see how these games look in HD or in higher resolution or better frame rate. It's all just really interesting. So yes, I don't really condone downloading games illegally, but it's interesting nonetheless. I'm going to jump on over to the next one. Now, this one is more of a side-by-side comparison, and as you can see on Citra, I guess that's the name of the emulation, it looks really good. Now, this is a game that actually is pretty ugly overall on the 3DS, and it was a late generation 3DS game. Everyone was hoping it would be a Switch game, but it wasn't, and I think just bringing this version up-res to HD to Switch is good enough. It seems like Nintendo really wanted to differentiate the 3DS and the Switch, so they didn't really bring a lot of cross-generation titles. There was like Fire Emblem Warriors and maybe a few more, but a lot of these games were either strictly on 3DS or strictly on Switch. There was no bleed over, unfortunately, because I would have loved this game on Switch. I actually never got around to playing this one because the Switch was already out. I kind of buried my 3DS, unfortunately. I still pull it out every now and then, but honestly, it's just to play older games. I don't really want to buy any more new games on 3DS because it's all about that Switch. But either way, this one is really impressive. I love seeing this side-by-side comparison. Like, it's crazy, the resolution of the 3DS, how bad it makes some games look. Whenever this one doesn't actually look half bad. Like, it actually has some shine to Samus's armor. There's some decent looking textures, but overall, yeah, it's a pretty blurry game. This is Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, and look at that! It actually doesn't look too far off. This kind of looks better than Pokemon Sword and Shield in some areas. Like, this character model looks really nice, the detail in the world. Now, seeing this in HD really makes me realize that Pokemon Sword and Shield aren't really a huge step up when it comes to the graphics. And I know a lot of people are going to say that was obvious, but honestly, it wasn't really that obvious to me until now. Like, this looks almost exactly like Sword and Shield. Game Freak is actually a pretty small team, so I don't really expect amazing graphics out of them, but the more I see of Sword and Shield, the more I am disappointed with the graphics. But honestly, this is pretty impressive for a 3DS game. Like, I would just love Nintendo to bring these over. They look fine, they play fine. I would love to play this on Switch. And I think Mario is next. Yes, this is Mario 3D Land, and my god, this looks really good. Wow, this might be the best one. Holy crap. This looks fantastic. Look at these bright colors, and the light beaming through, the textures are nice. Wow, this game looks like it's basically an HD Wii game, which always look really nice with Nintendo's art style. So yeah, this looks like more like a Wii or Wii U title rather than a 3DS game. This is really impressive. I really want to know what you guys think of this one. This looks really nice in my opinion. I don't know, maybe I'm giving it too much credit, but I think it looks really great. So yeah, it's just Nintendo with these art styles, they age so well, and Nintendo doesn't really take advantage of it. Like, they have so many classic titles that use like cartoony, bright, and vibrant art directions, and they don't ever bring them back. Like, I had saw Mario Strikers randomly. I was playing that at my friend's house on his PC, and he had it running in HD, and it looked fantastic still. It still almost looked like a modern Nintendo Switch game. Like, it was that good. So Nintendo needs to just bring back their classic catalog, bring those GameCube N64 games and Wii games to the Switch Virtual Console or the online service. Either one. I would love to play these older games in HD, and I'll rebuy them. That's the thing, Nintendo. A lot of people will rebuy these games. Like, yes, it's kind of annoying buying the same games over and over, but honestly, like, getting an updated version like this, it'd be worth it in my opinion. So yeah, obviously Nintendo's probably not watching this video, but you know, I like to rant a little bit, and these versions of these games just look so good, and a lot of these games probably went unplayed. I mean, the 3DS sold pretty good, don't get me wrong, but like, a lot of people probably didn't play Super Mario 3D Land, and they probably own a Switch now, and they'd probably play it. So yeah, that's all I got to say today, guys. Sorry for rambling a little bit. Be sure to let me know what you think of these HD versions of these 3DS games down in the comments section below. Thanks a lot for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you're interested, and maybe even that notifications bell if you're feeling generous. I'll talk to you guys later.